back. Hey everybody, a mystery is buried beneath the streets of Butte, Montana, and it's terrified residents for decades. The town has teamed up with paranormal investigators to figure out what the heck is going on, including our buddy Dave Schrader. Here's a clip from the Travel Channel trailer for Ghosts of Devil's Perch.
There's a monster that lives in the tunnels.
Can you talk to me through this flashlight? What would cause it to jump to 95.8? Look at it.
That glass just shattered. It is a spiritual awakening, and it is mad.
What the hell?
Our job now is to figure out how we can stop this before things get really bad for the town of Butte.
Are you trying to hurt anybody else out here?
Ow! What the? Dave!
I feel like I got stabbed in the gut.
We need an ambulance. I'm actually worried that we just made it worse.
Why the hell do you need an ambulance, Dave?
Well, you know, when you walk into haunted places that are known to have notorious histories and backstories, sometimes you walk into those stories. There's psychic scars that are left, imprints on these locations. And I had a very scary moment, and that's in this next coming episode, episode 2.
By the way, Dave Schrader, everyone. I forgot to introduce Dave Schrader. I don't even need this because I have 1,000 questions. Okay, this sometimes the origins of your shows come in a variety of ways. You get a tip. Blah, blah. How did this come to be?
Well, this is actually the 4th season of a very popular series called Ghosts of. They did Ghosts of Shepherdstown with Nick Roth and Elizabeth Saint, who went to Shepherdstown and dealt with the paranormal there for 2 seasons. The spinoff came the next season with Ghosts of Morgan City in Louisiana with Ben Hansen, Sarah Lemos, Katie Stafford, who's on our show.
Yeah.
And then this is the new one. So what happened is once you kind of open that can of worms, and the police and mayors around the United States are paying attention, they saw what kind of help the investigators were able to bring. The mayor, J.P. Gallagher, and police chief, Sheriff Lester from Butte, Montana, are dealing with a lot of supernatural issues. And they're not firmly believers, but they also know and love the constituents in their community. And they don't know how to bring them help, so they were willing to open up the doors and give us a chance to come in.
So, because I would imagine when the floodgates are open and people know what you do, I'm sure you get your fair share of things you don't really want to or need to follow through. How did you know this one was worthy of a follow-up email or phone call?
Well, the town of Butte, I mean, this town is so amazing and steeped in history, and you want the Wild West, this is it, right?
And this is the town right now that we're looking at, Dave?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Devil's Perch is named because the miners were doing so much work there, oring copper and silver, and they dug so deep that the devil sat above them watching them do their work because they had gone past hell, I guess is their concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had so much going on in that town, and, 24-hour mining, 24-hour prostitution, gambling, everything, every vice you could imagine. So there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that town and a lot of tragedy. So when you get the opportunity, and I love history, and the ghosts make the history come alive. I love to be able to go to these locations, put myself in that moment, and get a chance to communicate.
In that trailer that we saw, you said a line that I want to circle back. You're like, I can't quote you exactly, but you said, we need to help them before something bad happens or something to the city. What was happening? Like, what was...
They're refurbishing their town.
Okay.
Right? They're trying to clean it up and invite in a whole new generation of people. So they're constantly stirring things up.
Are they trying to make it more touristy? Like,
well, not even that. Just trying to make it vibrant and alive again.
Okay.
Copper mining is not a big thing anymore. So they're just trying to reinvigorate the community.
Recalibrate, yeah.
And fixing up old buildings and streets. And sometimes when you start stirring up historic locations, it's like the ghosts demand to be remembered. They don't want to be forgotten. And sometimes when you sweep things under the carpet, eventually you got to lift that carpet. And now the spirits are coming out to let you
they
know.
don't want these buildings being turned into baby gaps.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming. Yeah, that's good. Right, they just want to be remembered, and for the right reasons. You know, the winners are always the names that, you know, the Copper Kings of the town and the legends. They're the people everybody talks about and goes to see museums about, but they forget that tens of thousands of people built that city.
Was everyone in the town happy to see you?
No. No, not everyone, but there were a lot of people that were, and once we started going in and helping, it's amazing how many people came out to tell stories. You know, when you saw in that clip I go down in this new episode, it put me in the hospital. It was interesting because the doctors and nurses would come in to check on me, and then they're like, "Are you that paranormal guy?" "Yeah." "Let me tell you about what's going on 3rd floor." And they all, right? Yeah. They all had stories. And here I was hoping it was going to be like Grey's Anatomy and I was going to get some juicy gossip. No.
Because I love you, but there's a couple people that you don't want knocking at your door. An investigative reporter, a bill collector, or you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not good. Well, if you're at somebody's house, you're not there for a cocktail party.
You want me there when things go bad. I'm the guy you're hoping will show up at your door, right?
Exactly.
So that's the challenge. But a lot of it is in interpreting what's being told. You know, it's easy to jump to the conclusion of let's be terrified by everything and this stuff. But sometimes it's just giving that voice back to the forgotten.
I have more questions about that ambulance and the need of the ambulance. More with Dave in a second. Catch the Ghosts of Devil's Perch Sundays on the Travel Channel. I know, poor guy's up against Game of Thrones, so watch it, please. On Travel Channel. You can also, here's what I do. It's very easy. It's on Discovery Plus. That's how I watch Dave. More with Dave when we come back. Back in a moment, everybody. Go watch it right now. Press that plus sign. Record it. Welcome back. More with my buddy Dave Schrader. From the Ghosts of Devil's Perch on the Travel Channel. Go watch it. Forget Game of Thrones. Watch Dave. It's much better. There's no scary birthing scenes. Anyway.
Or is there?
Is there, yeah. I want to go back because executive producer Jeff said there's a portion that you're going to latch onto, and it's that one. Okay, describe to us, so we saw you kind of fall to the ground. Mm-hmm. What happened? Like, describe what you were feeling. Because we're never going to feel that. What happened to you?
See, that episode airs this week.
Oh, that's right. You can't say.
And Discovery Channel has a small chip in the back of my neck.
That's right. Okay. But let me find out because I don't like ruining shows. So
right.
So let me think of let me ask you
I can say
different.
This.
Okay.
I can say this about it. As I said, we were investigating a very interesting part of their history, and there are these psychic scars that are left in areas, right? Have you ever walked into a room after somebody had a fight and didn't know it, but you walk in and you just feel that vibe change in the room?
It's after every Jason Show meeting. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Well, I walk into what we call a place memory and have this experience where I believe I was experiencing what happened to one of the ghosts. I didn't know that. I thought I was having a heart attack. But I have a very profound, actually the second and third episodes are two of the most profound experiences I've had investigating claims of the paranormal.
Okay, that's how I was going to rephrase the question. You've sat on this couch and we've talked about, they've shown me many moments of yours I've watched. Colin loves your shows. Where do you rank this as far as on the freak out scale?
The intensity for this season, I mean, it's 8 episodes long, and we're literally from out of the frying pan into the fire, back into the frying pan every week, trying to figure out what's going on to piece this thing together. The intensity, I'd put it definitely at an 11 on a 10 scale. So there's a lot of activity and action going on, and a lot of people that just want help and answers and understanding what's happening in their home, in their community, and in their business. And
multiple I mean, you were feeling this were you feeling that energy all over the town?
Well, thankfully, I'm not a medium, so I don't have that. Our medium, Cindy Keza, we work with, is amazing.
Let me rephrase the team. Were you guys feeling the level of creepiness?
From the minute we got there, I mean, when you watch the first episode, we landed the day before, got set up in our hotel room, and we were literally setting up our headquarters when Sheriff Lester called and said, I need you to get to the Clark Chateau. We've had an attack. And when we got out there, this woman had been there for an event. She was in the bathroom washing her hands, and she felt something slash her back. And I've heard these claims of being scratched before, and sometimes you see these 3 little raised lines. And if you watch the show, you'll see what I'm talking about. This was one of the most heinous things I've ever seen. I mean, it was like Freddy Krueger caught her in the back. And the paramedics were there patching her up when we arrived, and she just had this shock. Yeah.
Back the truck up.
Yeah.
Paramedics were needed?
Yeah. That's why the sheriff
Because Casper attacked her?
Well, this was maybe Casper's friend, Spooky, the more creepy ghost. This was not a happy spirit.
No.
And we had to go in, and then as the lead investigator, I've got the concern of I'm about to bring my medium into this place where someone was attacked, and Lord love her, Cindy she's willing to jump head first into these situations, and she does remarkable work. But that was boom, immediately within the first 48 hours we get this call, and you can see when they're interviewing and talking to Sheriff Lester, he's just got this kind of blank look on his face because he, if there's a bad guy, he can go in and grab him and take him to jail.
Yeah.
In this situation, he's like, I don't know what to do, and I've never seen this before. I go, do you believe in the paranormal? He goes, no. And then he looked at her back and he goes, but I think I'm starting to consider the option. So
we have to go, but now believe me, we'll all be watching. How did that poor woman, was she freaked out on the freak out scale?
She was, when you watch it, she's in this shock zone. Her friend that was with her was very rattled, and Taylor was just kind of like trying to keep calm and keep her friend calm. It was crazy. But if this show does not work, next season I'm going to call it Game of Bones, and I'm going to ride a dragon. And I'll be handing out Rosen's, bachelorettes, whatever it takes to get seen. But
no, y'all support Dave, because again, up against, but it doesn't matter anymore. People watch when they want.
Right.
So go on Discovery Plus and put like a season record thing on there. Give it up for Dave, everybody. Catch Ghost of Devil's Perch Sundays on the Travel Channel, and like I said, streaming on Discovery Plus. And Dave also hosts the Paranormal 60 on Monday and Friday nights. And find Dave on social media, Dave Schrader, right there. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everyone. Thank you, buddy. That was great.